Guys, so in today's video I wanted to share a little story with you guys, something that happened to me this morning, and I don't know why, but I just feel like I need to share this with you guys. That was one of the first thoughts that I had when I had this experience. So today would be the third time ever in my life that I actually wake up crying with a lot of sentiment and a lot of feeling. This is the third time ever in my life that I actually wake up crying with real emotion and real feeling, like as if it was happening to me in real life. The other two times were when my grandma passed away, and the first time was the dream that she came and I dreamt about her, and we were shutting like these big steel doors to her coffin, even though she was cremated in real life. So that was kind of like a dream that made me feel like she's really gone. My grandma is gone. And the second time she came and she visited me, but in this dream, she was helping me clean the house, and she was like, I felt her presence. And I woke up crying because I loved her so much. This time, it was a crazy, crazy dream. The night was weird in general because yesterday we were supposed to be doing some filming for a video collaboration that I'm doing for CoverGirl, and I wanted to do it yesterday so I can have the weekend free. And Isaac went to school in the morning, and he's been sick and I've been sick. We've all just had, besides Jesse, just Isaac and I, we've had the cold, and Isaac actually developed a pink eye, and he was already fine because he got the pink eye like three days ago or something like that, like at the beginning of the week. And we sent him to school yesterday because he was feeling fine, but the teacher ended up sending him to the nurse's office, and he came home and we got him medicine, the eye drops and stuff. So we had to pick him up at 9 in the morning, and he starts school at 8. So we were in the middle of filming, and we got a call from the nurse's office, and we were like, oh my gosh, what is it? You know what I mean? Because that's like a really scary call that you don't want to get because you always think the worst. But you know, it was just that we had to pick him up because, you know, pink eyes are contagious, and we didn't think that he had it anymore, but he developed it that morning. So he went to school, and he came back home. So we didn't get a chance to film, but instead Jesse and I went outside and we started cleaning everything, like our backyard. I had the pressure washer. I was like really into it, just cleaning our backyard because I love our home and I take so much pride in every little corner, every little nook and cranny of this house. Like I and Jesse, we invest so much love into this house because it's our house, you know what I mean? So we spent all afternoon yesterday like doing hard labor work, cleaning, picking up stuff and moving things and throwing things away, and it was just like a lot of hard work. So I was really tired and I didn't have no energy to do anything else. And by this time, it was like 3 p.m. So I thought by nighttime I would be able to go to sleep. I put Isaac to bed by like 8:15 this time. And I was like, all right, I'm going to go to bed. I'm going to knock out. And somehow I could not go to sleep. I've been sleeping pretty well for the past couple of days, so I thought I was going to be able to sleep well. I finally fall asleep, and then I have this dream that shook me to the core. And basically in this dream, guys, I am walking to Isaac's school on a gloomy day, and I'm wearing like these high heels, and I feel really ridiculous to be wearing these like really high heels to pick up Isaac from school. So I remember feeling the feeling of like, oh my gosh, like why am I being like way too extra just to pick up my son from school? I just felt really uncomfortable. And on my way there, on the side of the street, there was a stroller which looked abandoned. And I peek a little bit inside into that stroller, and I see inside, and all I see is a little blanket. So I go around the other side of the stroller, and then I peek inside, and there's this little face of a little girl. And I was like, oh my gosh, somebody abandoned this little girl, and is she okay? Is she alive? Her eyes were closed, and I kind of like poke her a little bit because I was like, oh my gosh, what if she's dead? So I poked her a little bit, like kind of like scared from far away, just kind of like going like that. And she moved a little and opened her eyes, and she looked very weak, like as if she had been there for a long time. And I pick her up out of this small stroller, and she's like the size of Isaac. She's like 6 years old. And I'm picking her up, and I look at her and I ask her, are you hungry? And she said, yes, I'm very hungry. And I'm like, are you thirsty? And she said, yes. So I was like, somebody give me a water bottle. Like I was just like yelling at people who were walking like on the side of the street. I was just like, somebody give me that water bottle. So they give me the water bottle, and I give it to her, and she's like, she drinks the whole thing, and I have her here with me. And I was like, oh my gosh, you're so beautiful. I just want to take care of you. And I tell her, you're never going to be afraid anymore. I'm always going to take care of you. You're never going to have to suffer through anything in your life anymore. And I was telling her also as I was carrying her, it is so weird because in my dream, she only had a shirt. She didn't have any like underwear or pants. So I thought it was really strange. And I also told her, I'm like, I can't wait for you to go home. You're going to meet Isaac. He's 6 years old. He's just like you. You guys are going to have so much fun, and you're going to live a really happy life. I was just really excited about this little girl because I felt like, oh my gosh, like, thank you, God. Like, this is my baby. Like, this is my girl. Like, I always wanted to have another baby. And she was this beautiful little girl, like dark skin like me. And she had like, she looked like baby me. And she had dark black hair and just so cute and beautiful. And I actually asked her, I was like, why are you in the stroller? What happened? And she was able to communicate with me in the dream. And she told me that her parents just never picked her up. Like they went out for sushi and they never came back to pick her up. And I just thought it was really weird. But somehow without her telling me, I knew that her parents were murdered, and I was a little afraid of like who was the killer, like who killed her parents, and now they left this little baby girl here and she was left to die. But I was so happy that I had her because I just felt like I could protect her and take care of her. So she told me she was hungry earlier, so I go to this place where it's a Chinese food place, and it's kind of like a buffet, like a cafeteria type of thing. Like you get your tray and you just walk and they put the food, kind of like in high school. And she was really, really heavy. She felt as heavy as Isaac, so I couldn't carry her. And I invited all of my family over. I remember seeing my dad's face there. Everybody was there because I was like, you guys, I can't wait for you guys to meet this new baby girl. Like, this is my new daughter. I can't wait for you guys to meet her. I was so excited. And then somehow, like, I wasn't with her anymore, and I was sitting with my family, and they were bringing out the food, and they brought this box which had tons of tiny little boxes inside, and I start opening the boxes, and they're basically the little girl's body parts. One of them was like waist, one of them was like they shredded her bones or something like that, and they made them into snacks for dogs, and it had a little tag that said for dogs. And it was just basically her body remains cremated. She told me, I had the feeling that she was cremated in the back burner of the kitchen area of the restaurant. And I realized this, and my family's looking at me like, we're so excited, we can't wait to see like who this little girl is. And I'm opening this box and realizing that someone cremated her without my consent. And I look around, and the restaurant is basically closed. And I do see a few people who work at the restaurant, and I go up to them, and I was feeling very, like I didn't want to confront them about this, but I was like, what is this? What is this box? And they're like, well, they're the remains of the little girl. I was like, why would you do that to a little girl? Like, who does that? She was alive. How did you kill her? Oh my gosh, like she went through so much and now you killed her, and like, how did you do it? I was just going crazy. And in that moment, this is like towards the end of my dream, because I realized like this person that told me, well, we just cremated her. it was like very like nonchalant, like not a big deal, like we just cremated her. But I remember looking at her little face and telling her that I would always take care of her and that nothing bad would ever happen to her. And moments after that, she gets basically murdered in the kitchen of a restaurant, and they bring her out to me in tiny little boxes like that's a normal thing to do. And I sat there and I just started sobbing like uncontrollably at the restaurant because I basically let her down, and I was so excited about having a new baby, a new child in my life, and it didn't happen. So that feeling of despair and just being really sad and realizing that she went through a lot of pain in order for her to be cremated, it made me really sad, and I started crying a lot, and I woke up with the same kind of sentiment. I woke up feeling that, and I woke up crying. And I don't know I don't know why. I sometimes, and not all the times, because sometimes I have some really scary dreams and I don't like to think that dreams have anything to do with reality, but having dreams, it's crazy, right? It's something that we can't explain. Honestly, nobody knows why we dream and how we're able to have these vivid recreations or vivid moments in our mind while we're sleeping, so it's crazy. And sometimes I do feel like some of it has significance. Maybe it's not direct significance, but sometimes I do feel like it has a big meaning. And for me, it was a big moment because I normalize not being able to have a child as easily as we would like to. I almost feel like it's okay. It's not a big deal. It'll happen when it happens. It's been 6 years and still nothing. And we are in so much, Jesse and I have so much of a desire to have a bigger family. And maybe this is God's way of telling me that adoption is the right thing to do and the right way to go. Because we did put that on hold because of the house, but it's been many months since we bought the house, and we've been in this house for quite a while now, and we're settled. Everything is good and settled. But I think we always just try to have faith that it's going to happen naturally when it happens. So I think I believe that dream has a lot to do with me and like all the feelings that I've been suppressing and not wanting to acknowledge, really, because I guess it's really grief what I'm feeling inside. And grief is exactly like the sentiment that I felt in that dream above anything else, excitement and all that. But I really felt grief. That was the emotion that I felt. The primary reason why we wanted to adopt is because we want to expand our family now. We feel like we're at the perfect age to have more children. We have a lot of energy. Isaac is growing up, and I don't want him to grow up without a sibling, because I grew up with 3 sisters and he grew up with many brothers and sisters, and having a big family is a blessing, and that's what we're used to, and we know the blessing of having so many siblings in your life. I love all my sisters, but I am the closest with my sister Wendy, and she's my best friend. I can tell her anything, and she's my sister. You know what I mean? Like, we are blood. Nothing can come between us. And if she was, like, I don't think it would be the same if she wasn't my sister, because I've never been this close to a friend before where I can really open up and tell her what I'm feeling without being judged, or without feeling like I'm being judged, or like someone who doesn't know me, because I grew up with my sister Wendy and she knows me like the back of her hand, and I tell her all of my secrets. I tell her all of my issues and insecurities, and she's the same way with me. Like, we always talk on the phone. I hate talking on the phone, and with her I can talk on the phone for a long time, and I can also talk on the phone for a long time with my mom. So I love my sisters. I feel like it's such a blessing that God gave me blood sisters, and they're my best friends, and I love them. So I want to be able to give that to Isaac, you know what I mean? So yeah, this dream was really crazy. And part of the reason also why I wanted to film today's video is because I wanted to record this dream. I didn't have time to write it down. So recording it and just what I'm feeling, I think it's so important for me just to have like little personal diary type of entry, which is basically what this video is here. But yeah, as a young girl, I always thought it was super easy to get pregnant. And now that I look back at it and that I am so aware of my ovulation days and when I am the most fertile and things of that nature, it's like you have a small window to get pregnant. So I thought it was really crazy because I thought any time it could happen. But in reality, it's not any time for me, at least. Because also a lot of miscarriages, maybe like 50% of miscarriages, I read this online, so don't quote me because I might be wrong, but I read online that 50% of miscarriages actually happen before the egg is even implanted into the uterine wall because it doesn't even implant correctly, so it just washes out with your next period. So it's really a crazy miracle to create a human life. It's a blessing and it's a miracle. And I love being a woman for that fact alone. You know what I mean? Because women create life. This whole world would not be anything without a woman. It wouldn't be anything without a woman. So yeah, I am still really young, and I will continue to have faith. Maybe that little girl in my dream will be the little girl out there who needs a mom and a dad and a brother, you know? So I talked to Jesse about it already, and, you know, he told me it's going to happen when it happens, and God knows why he's waiting, and I believe that to be true. Because I also had Isaac is our world. He is just everything to me. Like the perfect little boy in my eyes is my little boy Isaac. And we actually just celebrated his 6th birthday. It was January 27th, and we went to Legoland, and we had so much fun. We went with one of Isaac's really good friend, and I became a really great friend with his mom and his dad. So they're really cool. We all went as families together to Legoland, and we stayed at the resort in Carlsbad, California. And the rooms are really cool, guys. Like if you want to celebrate your little boy's or a little girl's birthday party, or just celebrate their birthday, go to Legoland. This is our first time, and we actually stayed at the resort, and it's like you walk 1 minute and you're at the theme park. So it's like right there, and it's like it's all just dedicated to little kids. So I love it. The rooms are really cool. They all have different themes. We stayed on the 2nd floor, and the 2nd floor is like the pirate floor. So everything looks like a ship. The rooms look like you're in the inside of a ship in the cabin. It's like super cool, guys. I didn't get a chance to see the 3rd floor or the 1st floor, like the actual decor. But yeah, they have cafes inside. We got an ice cream cake for $30. We just split the cake between me and my friend Lisa, and yeah, we had an ice cream cake for our 2 little boys, and we took them to Legoland, and there was like adventures and hunts and all kinds of cool things to do at Legoland. So we had a fabulous time, and I would highly recommend it, guys. Highly recommend it, because throwing a birthday party is so much work. Like, I do not want to throw a birthday party, and Isaac had way more fun with his friend at Legoland and all the cool surprises that we made for him throughout the few days that we celebrated his birthday, which was really cool. So we had a lot of fun, and I love being a mom, guys. I really do love being a mom. So hopefully it happens again soon. That's all I wanted to get off my chest today. I hope you guys have a great day. Love you guys. More videos coming soon. Give me some topic ideas. What do you guys want to see Do you guys still like watching makeup tutorials by me? I still love doing them, but I feel like you guys like talking videos more. I actually like talking to you guys more too, because it still feels like what it was when I first started, you know what I mean? It's just a way for me to open up and connect with people just through sharing experiences and life stories and things of such. So, yeah, hope you guys have a wonderful day. Stay beautiful and blessed. And I love you guys.